Hi, everybody. Welcome to Entrepreneurs International Network. My name is Becky Askerland, and I am the organizer for EIN. We are so very excited to have you here today and our speaker. Each week, we bring speakers that we know and collaborate with to bring some kind of valuable message or training for entrepreneurs that are in this space. I appreciate you taking the time to be here and to listen to our amazing expert. Today, we have a very, very special speaker. Iman Aghay. So Iman is not only the founder of Entrepreneurs International Network, but he is also here to bless us with his expertise on a very special topic that we have learned is a very popular topic from our audience. So I'm grateful that he's here to talk to us about it today. Let me just quick read his bio. Iman Aghay is a serial entrepreneur, a 9-time #1 best-selling author who's helped thousands of experts find and land speaking opportunities that expand their reach and impact. As the founder of Nextgen Collaboration Circle, he's known for practical, high-impact strategies that get you booked fast. Let me go ahead and bring Iman onto the stage. Iman, thank you for being here with us today.
Hey, thank you very much for having me here. It's awesome to be here.
I will go ahead and give you the stage. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing? We're doing well? Awesome, awesome, awesome. So before I get started and talk about all the things that I want to talk about and then realize that I am not saying things that you actually want to hear, let me ask you a few questions just to make sure that I'm actually giving you the information that you are looking for. Number one, can I get you guys go to the chat box and tell me what level of public speaking business you are in? If you are just getting started, put 1. If you have done some public speaking as a business, and but you want to get better results, then put 2. And if you're getting great results already, but you want to expand it even further, then put 3. So if you're getting started, number 1. If you're doing some, but not really getting the results you want to, if you're getting great results, but you want to do even better and expand even more, then put 3, okay? Let's put that in the chat box. Let's look at that. So we have 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3. Okay, that's awesome. Lucy is 1.5. Habiba is 1. Erica is number 2. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, perfect. That's fantastic. To know that. Okay, now, before I get started, I actually have an invitation for you, and I want to give you the gift instead of at the end of the call, at the beginning of the call. Then I'll give you also the gift at the end of the call. Is that okay with everyone? So we have actually a 3-day event coming up called the Ultimate Speaker Event. And during this presentation, I'm going to talk about the importance of attending public speaking events, collaborating with other speakers, talking to the host of events, event organizers, summit organizers, podcast hosts, getting to know them and connecting with them, right? So, for example, as like kind of a great thing for you to know is as a speaker, when you have a relationship and connection with hosts, it makes it 10 times easier for you to land the stage. In my story, you're going to hear that I've presented at over 2,000 stages. And one of the secrets to land all these stages is that I can pick up the phone and I can literally text message the founder of many organizations, many networks, the organizers of any events, the host of many podcasts, and say, hey, I have something coming up. Can I present to your group? Can I be on your podcast? Can I be on your show? And the next thing I hear is not who are you? What are you going to talk about? Is when? Give me the topic. And with a couple of text messages, we can actually land those stages. Why? Because I attended speaking events that were designed for bringing public speakers with the host of events, seminars, podcasts, got into smaller rooms with them, networked with them, then got on calls with them, built relationship with them, and then guess what? Because I have the relationship and the connections, many of the stages I can easily just land with using the phone. Now, this does not seem like a secret. This does not sound like a secret, but the reality is that it's one of the biggest secrets. And the only thing that it requires is you showing up. So I highly recommend to you to attend events that are organized for speakers and the host of events, such as Ultimate Speaker Event. Ultimate Speaker Event is a virtual event, so you can attend it from anywhere you are. It's August 14th to 16th, and you can get a ticket for free. You can get a regular ticket for free, or yet better, you can upgrade to a VIP ticket on the next page, which gives you a lot of benefits in the VIP section, which is part of that networking with a lot of hosts of events, seminars, and conferences. And again, when you get yourself a VIP ticket, I don't actually know how much the VIP ticket is there $47 or $97? But anyways, inexpensive VIP tickets, like $47, $97, there are qualifiers between speakers who care about building their business and the ones who don't. Does that make sense? So if something is like $2,000 and somebody doesn't want to pay $2,000 to be in the VIP room, many people understand why. But if something is like $97 for a VIP ticket or $47 for a VIP ticket, and the speaker doesn't even want to pay $47 to network with other VIP members, then that's a qualifier. Is everybody with me? Is everybody following that? So get yourself in the VIP rooms of great events that are hosting the speakers as well as hosts of events, summits, and organizers. Can I share with you another secret that I didn't even plan to talk about today, but we are here, and so now I'm on tangent. So on the second thing we want to do, you also want to have something called a JV master list. What's a JV master list? JV master list is a Google sheet or Excel sheet or whatever way that you organize your contact information. You want to get a Rolodex for yourself, go get a Rolodex. It doesn't matter, right? But it's a place where you can have the name, email, phone number, the types of events or the name of the event that somebody hosts, what the event is about, what's the expected size of the event, whether they are looking for speakers, and what type of stages they have. And as you go to these events and you network, you want to start taking notes on this. So I come to this event and Mike says, I'm planning to organize a 3-day event called blah, blah. We are expecting 100 attendees. It's going to be virtual, and it's going to be September 1st to 3rd. I jump to my JV master list, and I take note on that. Then I'm going to message Mike with this magical golden question. Mike, what does it take to speak at your event? I'm not going to tell Mike, you have to have me at your event. Mike doesn't have to have me at his event. He's an organizer. He knows what he has to do for his event, right? But what I can ask is, Mike, what does it take to speak at your event? And he gets back to me and says, Iman, we have some sponsorship stages. He gets back to me and says, can you bring 30 people with me, with yourself to my event? He gets back to me and says, give me your topic and target, whatever it takes. He knows what it takes. I don't need to dictate it to him. He knows, and he can tell me. and I can just follow. Now, for you as a speaker, you need to know different types of stages and different types of deals. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. Does that sound good? Right? So here are the things that I'm going to share with you today. We are going to talk about number one, the three myths about landing stages. A lot of people think wrong about landing stages. We're going to talk about that, what it means and how it works. The next thing, many people don't realize that every stage is a deal. It's not like you have great content, so everybody wants to have you on on their stage. That's not the way that it works. Every stage is a deal. There are 5 types of stage deals. You need to know the deals, and you need to have a plan for what to do for each of those deals. And the number 3 is the relationship types and the importance and their importance in landing stages. Make sense? Everybody with me? So the 3 things we're going to talk about are as follows, but I'll tell you a little bit about my journey, because if you want to listen to me, you need to know actually why a little bit. So I'm going to go through my story very quickly. I'm not going to go through like all the details of everything, but technically back in 2007, 2008, I had a dream of becoming an international professional public speaker. I wanted to travel the world and I wanted to do public speaking all day long. You know, I always got very passionate where I saw that light in people's eyes when they got an aha moment. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you teach them something and their eyes like have that shine. Like I always were getting excited with like seeing that shine in people's eyes. And I wanted to travel the world, do speaking, and do that. I was looking at people like Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy, Oprah. I was thinking, wow, these people are building successful businesses and changing people's lives. I want to do the same thing for myself, right? If that resonates with you, go to the chat box. I'm with you, right? Like you ever looked at people's eyes and like that inspires you, and if ever you thought like I want to change people's lives and make big impact, right? So anyways, so that's where I started, but I was living in Iran, where I'm originally from. I was born and raised in Iran, and with an Iranian passport, you can't travel. You can go to only 13 countries, which half of them are in some sort of a war. You have a lot of other limitations. Also, I couldn't speak English and all the other things. So my wife at the time and I decided to move to North America to get a North American passport and start learning English and everything else. And so it was easier for us to move to Canada. So we moved to Canada in 2009. It was right after 2008 recession. Lots of people were out of work. We started looking for all types of survival jobs. Long story short, I ended up doing web design because that's the best way that I knew how to make money. But I suck at design. Exhibit A, my PowerPoint. Yet I was doing web design. And one morning, I woke up and I was bleeding internally. I was rushed to the hospital where doctors realized that I've lost 60% of my blood. And when you lose 25% of your blood, you're at a massive deadly risk of getting a heart attack. And I lost 60% of my blood. So the doctor came to the room, looked at me and said, well, here's the thing. Normally in this situation, I have to open you up to stop the bleeding. But you've lost so much blood, if I open you up, you die. So I am gonna give you blood transfusion, which every bag can also kill you potentially. And we're gonna wait till tomorrow morning to see if the blood that we're giving you is faster than the blood that you're losing. And if tomorrow you are here and you don't die, then we'll do a surgery on you. And in a matter of a day, 10 days before my 27th birthday, I found myself on my deathbed. And as I was lying on my deathbed, connected to blood transfusion, waiting to see if I'm going to die or I'm going to survive this, I realized tomorrow people are going to come to my funeral and they're going to say, Iman was a nice guy. He was a web designer. And hell, I did not want to die a web designer. Nothing wrong with being a web designer. It just wasn't what I was born to do. I knew I was born to make a much bigger impact on the world. I knew that I had a ton more potential in me. And that moment I realized that to that point I was alive, but I never lived. I never lived true to my potential. I never lived true to my heart. I never lived true to what I could actually achieve. And that night I said, if I get a second chance at life, I'm going to make a massive positive impact on the lives of 100 million people by empowering 10,000 entrepreneurs, coaches, authors, and speakers to work with 10,000 clients each at a deeper level. And I set that as my life purpose. And a few hours later, my bleeding stopped out of its own. And they kept me at hospital for 10 days. They didn't realize why I bled until 2 years later when I was diagnosed with cancer and I beat my cancer. But I always say my cancer saved my life, because if that night had never happened, I would never wake up to my actual potential. But when I got out of hospital, I started hitting the stages. I started learning public speaking. I started improving my English. I started going into one mentor after another class, after another conference, after another seminar, and then started presenting on more and more and more stages. And today, 15 years later, I've presented at 2,000 live, in-person, and virtual events, seminars, and podcasts in rooms, all the way from 3 people virtually to 2,700 attendees at my TEDx event. I'm one of the largest TEDx in-person, largest TEDx talks, one of the most highest rated TEDx's, and ended up sharing the stage with people like Tony Robbins, Gary Vaynerchuk, Christian Michelson, Sean Stevenson before he passes away, and ran a lot of my events. So when I tell you landing stages is not really something that is only for a few people. It's something that anyone can figure it out. You know, since the beginning of this conversation, probably I made 85 grammar mistakes. Probably I made so many other but still I land stages every single day. And these stages have helped me to build very successful companies. So there are 3 myths that's getting in the way of people landing stages. And I see this every single day with people that they tell me this. Number 1, many people think that they need to be great speakers to land stages. And even though there is some truth to that, that you need to be a good speaker to land stages. You don't need to be the greatest speaker of all time. And I can prove that to you. Have you ever attended an event where you are sitting in the audience and you're listening to the speaker and you're thinking, really? You? Why are you on the stage? I can do 10 times better than you. Have you ever been to an event like that? Some of you are thinking that right now. That was a joke if you don't do it. But anyways, right? So, but really, like, you have attended events that you literally know that you are 10 times better than the speaker who's speaking. And yet they are on the stage and you're not. You don't need to be the greatest speaker to land stages. Number two, many people think the organizers needs to pay you to speak. Otherwise, you're not a professional speaker. That is absolutely not true. The reality is that the majority of speakers who only speak when they get paid to speak make significantly less than the speakers that speak in all opportunities, with all opportunities that they find. And I'm going to talk to you about that because it goes on to the deals for stages. You need to understand the 5 deals of stages. And if you understand the 5 deals of stages, you realize that paid gigs is just one of the 5, which means 20% of the stages out there. But there are significantly better ways to make money from stage. And number 3, they say, if you are a good speaker, organizers will find you. Absolutely not true. Absolutely not true. So here is a secret, not so much secret, but here is something to know about my organization. One of my companies is called Evolutionary Business Council. We usually put about 45 speakers a year on our stage at Evolutionary Business Council. Another one of my companies is called Entrepreneurs International Network, where we put another 40 speakers on its stages, right? So between just 2 of my companies, we put about 85 speakers on the stage. Now, when we look for speakers, we don't sit and think who we know who are the best speakers. You know what we do? We put an email out that is call for speakers that people fill in a form. When they fill in the form, we look at the form and we have a scoring system. We follow the scoring system on people who applied and we select the speakers. So if the greatest speaker that I know doesn't apply, not gonna make it. Not because they are not the greatest speaker, it's because their name is not in front of us. You know how many speakers I know? I can't count them. I can't count. Just in one of my organizations, we have over 2,000 speakers. Just in one of them. We have over 2,000 speakers. All of them are amazing. If their name is not in front of us when we're looking for speakers, they're just not going to speak at that event. Does this make sense? So if you are looking for speaking opportunities, you gotta look for call for speakers and you have to apply to make it to their list, even if you are the greatest speaker of all time. So just get over that thing that's like, oh, I'm good, so everybody's gonna find me. There are so many good speakers out there. You gotta be in that game, right? So to understand that, you need to understand the 5 deals for stages. And the first deal is paid gigs. What are paid gigs? Paid gigs are when a corporation or a membership group, generally a corporation or a membership group, pays you to speak at their event, or many times pays you to run a workshop. What does that mean? Let's say, for example, I am organizing an event for Accounting Association of US, right? So the National Association of Accountants. And National Association of Accountants is looking for a speaker, for a keynote speaker. And they're like, well, if we bring Sam Altman, if we bring, I don't know, Tony Robbins, then more of our members would want to attend this event. So they look for a speaker and they like, we pay you $100,000, we pay you $50,000, we pay you $25,000. Or they say, we are looking for a person who can teach our members about AI within the 1 hour that we can give them. So let's go get the founder of an AI company, pay them 10K to come here and educate us for an hour on the use of AI. So they are either paying the speaker for their fame, who can bring more people to the room, or they are paying the speaker for their knowledge to educate their existing members. They already follow that. So they usually are paying the speakers either for their fame or for their knowledge. Usually they pay significantly more for the fame and significantly less for the knowledge. Okay? But still, they pay 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 for the knowledge, and they may pay 15K, 25K, 80K, 100K, 250K for fame. That's why a US president may get $250,000 for showing up for 50 minutes. It's not that they have $250,000 worth of knowledge. It just is that president is showing up, that past president is showing up. Lots of people want to come and buy tickets and pay like $15,000 for a VIP ticket to that event. So it's just all about money. Does that make sense? Everybody following that? Right? So that's paid gigs. Usually it's hosted by corporations and membership groups. Okay, that's great. Number 2, revenue share. What is revenue share? Well, revenue share is when somebody is hosting an event, they have a group, and this group that they have are all within a target market. So let's say, for example, all of them are moms, all of them are business owners, all of them are parents, right? And then they are looking for an expert who can come and present, and they can offer a program, they can offer a course, they can offer a service, and they can share a portion of the revenue with them. So the speaker is not getting paid. The speaker is selling their services, and they pay a referral fee, which can be as high as 70%. So it's not like 10%. It can be 10% if it's for professional one-on-one services, but that can go as high as 70% for a virtual course. If it's a digital course, that can go as high as 70%. Norm for a digital course is 50%, but for a larger event, like these events that there are 6,000 attendees in front of you, those, the organizer charges you 70% of your ticket, of your sales, of your digital course, and 30% of your back-end sales, which I know these numbers may scare you, but also at scale, they make sense. So we'll talk about that if you want. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask me at the end of this, and I'm more than happy to explain the math, right? But anyways, so revenue share, usually we are looking at 50% on a digital course. So you, for example, go and present in front of a room of 40 attendees. You offer your $500 course, and you pay 50% of any sales that you get. So that's why I usually tell the speakers, create a course that is anywhere between $250 to $2,000 price point. Why? Because if you have a course that is priced between $250 to $2,000, a lot of speakers who are interested in revenue share would want you to speak. So you are unlocking the stage by having this $250 to $2,000 course. So you present, 20% of the people buy your $500 course, then you pay 50% of it, you keep 50% of that. Now, listen to this. Many times, when you have a $500 course, then 6 weeks later or 3 weeks later, you can offer this person more one-on-one services at significantly higher price point. Majority of revenue share deals don't include the future sales. So if I present somewhere, offer a $500 course, and I pay 50% of the 500, then I get $250, right? But if 6 weeks later, that person buys my $15,000 mastermind, I keep all the $15,000. So for getting a $15,500 referral, I only paid $250. So a part of this is not really fixing you as a speaker. A part of this is actually building your business in the way that you have a $250 to $2,000 program, and you have a higher priced program where you work with people at a deeper level where you make profits. So many speakers can't land the revenue share stages because their business isn't ready. Has nothing to do with the stage. The stage is out there, but they don't feel ready for these products. Now, does that mean that you should not go after stages to land stages before having all these pieces? Absolutely not. You should look for all the stages all the time, and you should build your business as you find the stages. Is everybody with me? If you're with me, go to the chat box, I'm with you. Okay, go to the chat box, I'm with you. Now, the next thing is the sponsored stages. What are the sponsored stages? The sponsored stages are pay to play. Sometimes you pay the organizer to speak in front of their audience. And you may scratch your head and you're like, what? I pay to speak? That doesn't make any sense. But let me tell you why it does. So let's say your conversion rates goes really up. So when you speak, 40% of the people in the room buy your $1,000 program. Well, that means if you speak in front of 100 attendees, 40 of them are going to buy your $1,000 program, which if you want to do revenue share, that means you have to pay 50% of that $40,000. So if you do revenue share, you pay $20,000 for 1 hour of talk. That's a lot of money for 1 hour of talk. Do you follow? So now I'm like, hey, what if I just pay you $10,000 up front and I just get on the stage and just keep all the sales? Now, why would organizers say yes to that? Number one, because you are taking all the risk. If you pay up front and you get on the stage and you make zero, then it's zero. And you make 40,000, then you keep the 40,000, right? But number two, organizers have a lot of expenses before an event begins. So they need to pay for the hotel, they need to pay for the staff, they need to pay for marketing, they need to, right? So the organizers need money up front. So that's why the majority of events have sponsorship deals available. Trust me, many of these events that you attend, when you see a speaker on the stage, they paid $7K for that 30-minute talk that they did. They paid $10,000 for that 25-minute talk that they just did. Why? Because when they give people a consultation session, when people go and apply for that consultation session, 25% of them buy their 10K program. So they speak in front of 100 people. If they are allowed to sell, then they sell. 100 attendees are there, 40 people are paying them $1,000. That's $40,000. They put that money in their pocket because they paid $7,000 upfront to a sponsor. Does this make sense? So it's all a matter of business. Public speaking is a part of your business. It's just one part of the business. And the better you become at business, then the more stages you find. Now, the next one is promotion mandate. What's promotion mandate? Let's say, for example, John wants to organize an event, right? He's planning to do an event and he's planning to have 100 attendees. Then John creates the sponsorship deal. And he says, you can sponsor my stage for $10,000. And then I show up and I say, John, what if I bring 50 people with me? I don't want to pay you the $10,000, but I can bring 50 people with me. And then John thinks and says, you can bring 50 people. That's half of my mandate of marketing this event. I have sponsors that are paying me $10,000. So I can have 5 sponsors paying me $10,000 and 50 people you are guaranteeing to bring. I would be more than happy to give you the stage for free. So you are bringing 50 people with you. Did you follow that thought process? So John is fulfilling 20%, 30%, 50% of his audience by just having one speaker. Now, sometimes for certain stages, the entire event, all the speakers are mandated to bring attendees. So sometimes you're speaking at a summit, and in the summit, every single one of the 40 speakers who are speaking at that summit had a mandate to get 25 registrants. Well, guess what? 40 speakers times 25 registrants, that's 1,000 attendees. That's 1,000 registered audience members. That's a lot. So why John want to do that? Because if Mike is speaking, Mike is bringing 25. Miranda is bringing 25. Habiba is bringing 25. So John has created this speaking opportunity that everybody has a 25 attendee promotion mandate. So John brings 1,000 attendees together by having 40 speakers bring 25. But it's easy for Mike to bring 25, for Habiba to bring 25, for Miranda 25. It's easy for everybody to bring only 25. So, question here for you is that are you ready to participate in these promotion mandate stages? Because there are lots of stages out there that have promotion mandate. And if you can bring 25, 30, 40, 20 attendees, you're on the stage. And guess what? Many of these stages are virtual and not live in person. What's the importance of that? Well, the importance of that is that if you build a mailing list of only 300, 400, 500 attendees, then you can bring 25 opt-ins because it's virtual. So you're sending an email, getting those people to go sign up for that event. Well, how do you do that? Well, there are lots of giveaways out there that you can participate in. You can host your own afternoon event on Eventbrite virtually. Like do a little bit of advertisement for it, $15 a day for a couple of weeks, and then you're getting like 200 registrants, you're getting 100 registrants, you're getting 50 registrants. You do that 4 weeks in a row, you do that 6 weeks in a row, you have your 500 people on the mailing list. Is everybody following? What I just told you in the last 2 minutes, it can solve so many of your problems. I really hope you actually listen to what I said in the last 2 minutes. I'm going to repeat that one more time. You want to build a very small mailing list, start hosting 1-hour events hosted on Eventbrite and run a $10, $15 Eventbrite ad. It's called an Eventbrite ad. Not a Facebook ad, not a social media ad, not an event. It's called an Eventbrite ad. On Eventbrite marketing, you put Eventbrite ad, right? Just put $10, $15 Eventbrite ad a day on it. You do that for 5, 6, 8 weeks. Every single week, you get like 20 registrants, 40 registrants, 50 registrants. That's not a lot at the beginning, right? But after 4, 5, 6 weeks, if every week you're getting 20, 30 registrants after 8 weeks, now you have 250 people on your mailing list. Now you have 300 people on your mailing list. Now, if you go speak at the summit, you can easily get 25 registrants for that summit because you can promote to that mailing list and promote that summit. So now I gave you access to 20% of the stages in the world that have promotion mandate. I really hope you listen to that because that's something that I don't even teach in my regular high-end mastermind. Now, the next one is no deal. No deal is sometimes that somebody really, really, really likes you. Like they know you, they trust you, they know that you have great content, and they say, you know what? I want you to come to my stage and I want you to present. Let's say, for example, I know Becky. Becky is really good at operations. Every other week, I have an event with my mastermind students, right? And now I call Becky and I'm like, Becky, can you actually teach this content to my mastermind tomorrow morning? There's no deal. You can come, you can present, you can offer them anything you want. I don't want revenue share. I don't want to pay you. I don't want you to pay me. I'm already doing it. And I want you to come here and be the expert for me. Does this make sense? Everybody with me? So now there is no deal. I just want her to come present and just win the audience. Now, of course, there are different types of speaking opportunities that you need to be aware of, because if you're not aware of these speaking opportunities, you can miss out. So, of course, there are upcoming events and seminars and conferences that happens every single day. There are lots of summits out there, which is multi-speaker events, the way that I was speaking about, that all of them have the promotion mandate. There are lots of podcasts and radio shows out there in the world that are looking for guest speakers like you. There are lots of associations, organizations, and venues that you can contact and see if they have any upcoming events and what it takes to speak at that association, organization, or venue. Like, seriously, think about it. Have you created a list of all the associations, organizations, and venues in your local city and contacted them and asked, hey, what does it take to speak in this association? There's Nursing Association, Doctors Association, Accountants Association, Bookkeepers Association, Librarians Association, Construction Association. Have you contacted any of these? And ask them, hey, I'm wondering if you host any educational session, luncheon sessions, conferences, and who is in charge of selecting the speakers? You want to land stages, you need to know organizers. And of course, there are lots of TEDx's and TEDx style events. TEDx style events are events where you can present and there are usually no call to action, but they have TEDx style, like Machu Picchu is one of them, and then TEDx is TED and TEDx are just another one. We have inspired talks, we have action talks. There's just so many TEDx style events that are out there. But do you know the TEDx's in your city? Do you know who are the organizers of the TEDx's in your city? You're a speaker, you want to know the organizers. I can literally pick up the phone and text message 5 organizers of TEDx's in Vancouver. If you're a speaker, you need to know people. How? Go to networking events, connect with them, ask for connections. And so that's where the relationship comes and becomes very important that many people ignore. There are 3 types of relationships. The speaking opportunities where you know the organizer, the speaking opportunities where you don't know the organizer, and the hidden speaking opportunities. What do I mean by hidden speaking opportunities? Did you know that there are 7,000 meetings every day in the US alone? 7,000 meetings a day. Do you belong to any coaching program? Do you belong to any mastermind? Well, guess what? Every week, there in that coaching session, there is a meeting, right? There is a meeting that happens. Well, can the host bring a guest speaker? Yes. Are they proactively looking for one? No. But can they bring a speaker? Absolutely. I teach my mastermind every other week. If I connect with a person that their content is phenomenal for my audience, I'll just say, hey, I want you to come to this meeting, and I want you to present, and bam, now that person got a talk from a hidden opportunity. So here is the secret. The simplest way to land stages consistently is building connections with organizers and hosts. Attend speaking events and fully participate in them, and always get yourself a VIP ticket. Always get yourself a VIP ticket, because that puts you in the room where people can easily identify you care about your business, you mean business, you're serious. Now, as I talked about this earlier, we have an event coming up called Ultimate Speaker Event. That event is virtual, so everybody here can attend it. It's on August 14th to 16th, and you can get yourself a free ticket at ultimatespeakerevent.com. And after you got yourself a free ticket, on the next page, you can upgrade to a VIP ticket, which I highly recommend to you. Also, one thing with the Ultimate Speaker Event has a competition in it called the Speakers Coliseum. The participants in the Speakers Coliseum, so you can compete in the Speakers Coliseum. It's a phenomenal event. And usually I highly recommend to you to also participate in any speaker competition you can, because as soon as you put your name in the speaker competition and you become one of the competitors, you win a lot of prizes, and those prizes are super amazing. But also, when you become, for example, the top 4, the finalists, or you win a lot of attention from the hosts of events and podcasts that are sitting in that room and are looking at you. Every time that the person gives you a mic, just take it. Now, of course, in Ultimate Speaker Event, you don't have to compete, because there's a competition. It's just one of the opportunities, but show up. Always show up at an event. Always show up on camera. This morning at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific, which is a couple of hours ago, at Evolutionary Business Council, we were selecting the speakers of our upcoming seminar. And every single one of us in the leadership team could remember people who show up on camera. Even if we had never talked to them, we knew who they are. because we could remember them because we have seen them, right? So we're like, hey, like in the last 2 years, this person has shown up, was on camera. Why? Because people who are on camera come first, right? On Zoom, their names come first. So always have your full name, show up on camera, be there. And the connection that you're building when you raise your hand, when you ask questions, participate. Massive difference. Massive difference. I select about 200 speakers a year. 200 speakers here in different companies, with one 45, another company 45. I select about 200 speakers every year to speak at my events. Great difference. People who show up on camera, have their full name, we know them. People who ask questions, people who participate, like all of those things, to roll in the VIP rooms. And that is pretty much it. Show up, get VIP ticket, be on camera, build a relationship, and don't forget your JV master list. Don't forget your JV master list. I'm going to give you another trick. As you build your JV master list, in case you don't know what JV master list was, JV master list is the list that I talked about. It's a Google sheet, usually, where you have the person's name, email, phone number. If they're hosting an event or podcast, you write like what it is they host, who the target market is, and if they accept guests. And then you have link to information, right? So you have the costs. One of the greatest things that speakers always want, majority of hosts of events are also speakers, right? Usually the host of events started hosting their events because they wanted to speak and they were looking for more speaking opportunities. And then they just said, let me create my own stage. So that's why they started hosting events, right? Well, many of these hosts, they are looking for other hosts to connect with, to collaborate with. So let's say I get on a call with Habiba and she and I are talking, right? And then she says, Iman, I'm hosting this event. And I say, so what you're looking for? And she's like, I'm looking for speakers who have good connections. Well, guess what? Hosts of other events always have good connections, right? Because they host events. So they have mailing lists, they have, right? So I'm like, Habiba, that's great. Can I introduce you to Erica and Liz and Leslie? They all organize events. And she's like, yeah, that sounds great. How do I know Erica and Leslie are organizing events? Because I have my JV master list. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, these three people can be great speakers for your event because they host events, they can bring the audience to you. Now, without even having a list, I have given Habiba a massive, massive value. They didn't use my mailing list, but I used my connections and relationships from all these networking events. Is everybody with me? And seriously, it's as simple as that. Sometimes we are looking for secrets that are just so obvious. And this is one of those. Have a JV master list, build relationships, connect people, land stages. Does anybody have any questions about anything we talked about so far? We good? Awesome. Did you guys get great value today? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Am I going to see you at the Ultimate Speaker event? Yeah. Looking forward to seeing you at the Ultimate Speaker event. That's August 14th to 16th. Again, you can get yourself a free ticket and just come and join us. Whether you get a free ticket with a VIP ticket or not VIP ticket, doesn't matter. Just come, show up, be there, participate. And I look forward to seeing you at that event. And with that, that's the end of it for us. Enjoy the rest of the day. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye. Becky, back to you.
Thank you, Aman. That was an amazing call and gained so much knowledge from that. I do want to share the Ultimate Speaker event was so much fun. The last time we had it and I gained tons of information. I loved seeing everybody blossom during the Coliseum event, whether you participated as a competitor or you observed, you just learned so much. I couldn't recommend more for everybody to sign up. So I hope I get to see everybody there and we'll see you on the 14th. Thank you for joining us. As a reminder, our EIN events are every Tuesday and typically at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. Looking forward to seeing you back. Thanks, everybody. Bye.